Good morning, my wonderful, loving friends. It's a very chilly morning. It's warming up a little bit. I think it's supposed to go up to 17, but right now it's cold and damp, let's say. And I will admit my emotions are a little bit sensitive today and challenged. I have my up periods and my down periods and my in-between periods, like anyone. Harvested and made my pine needle tea this morning. I find it very, very comforting and heartwarming. Made a nice strong one. I have some news for everyone. I wish I didn't have to share this. Partly doing it as a video because I don't want to. One reason is because I don't want to just write this. It's very impersonal. And I wanted this to be as personal as possible. And another reason is that by speaking it, I also am digesting it and registering it on a deeper level myself, because it does seem to feel quite often like it's not real. And I know that's part of the process that we go through in accepting difficult situations, and especially physical death of a loved one or of that within the self. So all of you know, if you've been following me, that Raven was diagnosed with serous, not serious, but although it is serious, serous uterine cancer. When they did their first CT scan, and surgery, they said that the cancer had eaten through the lining of her uterus, which kind of more or less says that it's metastasized and spread. We knew this at the beginning. Not a lot was explained, but we were able to, like anyone, look these things up, compare notes and so on. So not with ease, and once again, anyone following recent posts, you can get a sense of the difficulties we've gone through because of the Western medical model and how this system works, and especially during lockdown, and people so obsessed with cases and disinterested in other forms of real fallout because of lockdown, which all officials ignore and many people ignore because of their Stockholm obsession with cases of a narrative that has no factual credibility behind it. I'm not saying that there aren't people dying from a virus. It happens and has happened since the beginning of time. There are also many people dying daily from Tylenol, from other simple little things that no one ever takes the time to protest or complain about or even desire to learn about. But for some reason are gung-ho in towing the line of this narrative that has no scientific background. Everything, as you know, has no proof behind it, including the tests that are being used. I'm not here to argue with anyone. So the results Raven finally got from a CT scan that she almost didn't get done in time to live to see because of the foot dragging of people in the system and her falling through the cracks, which has been admitted to and accepted by many of the medical professionals that I've talked to. So the final result, not thanks to our family doctor who took a holiday, conveniently right at the time that he should have been calling Raven and comforting her with his loving care and Hippocratic oath. Instead, I had to wait and phone up myself the office of this doctor, and when I asked what was to be done, seeing he was on a 1-week holiday, the receptionist suggested that I book an appointment with him for next week for him to tell us. And I said that was not acceptable for many reasons. I was told, well, why couldn't you get this information from the hospital where they did the CT scan? I then insisted that I speak to someone who could take the place of our doctor. In other words, another doctor. I think it's actually a law in situations like this. But nothing was arranged, and the receptionist offered to try and find me a nurse. And I very insistently suggested strongly that they find me a doctor to read the CT scan results. It's just horrible. And I can't say I know why. I can have loads of theories, but I don't give a shit. Why almost everyone we've met throughout this process in the medical field, from doctors on up, want to pass the buck instantly. They avoid us. They don't want to know. They don't want to be part of it. Anyways, from what this unknown doctor that stepped in, because I wouldn't take no for an answer, said that the cancer has spread to Raven's liver, to her abdomen, and to her lungs. Raven's comfort levels with the morphine, she has her up moments where she, if she's sitting and not moving around too much, is able to feel amazing joy and deep feelings, love, and enjoy the sun shining and so on. Today, the sun's just starting to come up now. Wish it was a little bit warmer. Raven's all rolled up in her blankets in the trailer. In the dark, she found that the light was just a bit too much for her at the moment. I'll be honest, I'm having a little bit of a low day. Yesterday I was really up, Raven was up. I tend to be feeling up when Raven's feeling up. But the cold and raininess definitely often doesn't affect my state of mind, but today it felt heavy. And life is heavy at the moment. But it does not prevent me from feeling, and Raven from feeling, amazing gratitude and joy. And we're learning to take each emotion and feeling as it comes and appreciate each one, but to be very careful that there isn't a little voice, a little mechanism within inside ourselves. I would say all those voices that try to kind of work on you and cut you down and make you feel like a victim. I don't believe there's any reason to feel like a victim in any situation. And I do believe, and I've been there many a time feeling like a victim in my past, but I do at this point believe that feeling like a victim is coming from a voice inside the head, probably from some programming, from experiences in the past. Some people get it more than others. Most often when they're feeling low, compromised, health-wise or other. So we refuse to be or to feel like victims in this situation, and we choose to see the sunny side. And there is always a silver lining. And Raven is, aside from being a wonderful soul, she's a very, very brave individual and is not afraid of physical death. Most likely Raven will not see this winter or any other winter. And perhaps that is better if her health does not improve, the winter would not be a nice time to go. So in that respect, going in a nice warm summer day out in the forest would be a lovely thing as far as Raven's concerned anyways. She loves nature, she loves her dogs, she loves all of you. I know she's going to be getting a few visitors, and that's going to lift her spirits. We have booked her. She had a little by phone consultation, free consultation with the naturopathic college, and she's going to have her first phone session coming up next week, and they will decide whether she has any, if there's anything they can do for her at this stage. It's not cheap. I know the phone consultation alone is $200, and who knows what the other treatments will cost. But if they can't help her, it's not worth pursuing it at all. But if there's anything they can do to give her a little more time, quality time, and mental and physical health, so that she can at least see her birthday, August 30th. I don't know if she'll see mine in November. But what's most important is Raven's happiness right now for me. And I want her to leave in good spirits. I don't want her to leave broken. And lockdown and Western medicine really, not as an individual, but as a whole, has done its best to break her and anyone else that doesn't play their game. They're not very friendly when you don't go with their flow and worship them. They take great offense. Interesting. I have a lot of things I could say, and I'm trying to hold back anything that I feel is not necessary at the moment. I am planning on, a lot of people throughout the last, 10 or 15 years have expressed their love for our unique furniture, our lovely wooden cabinets and chests that seem to come from far off lands, definitely imported from most of it from Rajasthan, coming from Morningstar on Yonge Street. John, wonderful guy, uh, good hard worker, spiritual man, deserves people's support, worked hard all his life. And that's up near Bloor Street. So we're going to be selling a lot of our furniture. I'm going to keep a few pieces that will suit my much smaller home when I eventually build it. So aside from keeping a few choice pieces, I'm pretty well selling everything else. And because many people had expressed at the time, whenever they did, throughout the last 20 or so years that I've had the furniture, if ever I was going to sell anything, please to let them know. And I honestly can't remember who said what so long ago. So I'm just letting you know, if you know anyone or yourself who would be interested in buying some of this furniture, the money is going to go towards Raven's healing, whatever the naturopathic college can do for her. It's not going to be cheap, and that's the main thing that I'm going to be using the money from the furniture sales for, or anything else, for giving Raven comfort until her time to embark on her journey. She's promised me that she's going to be working with me very closely after she leaves. And her loving energy will be going into every soul print that I do. This is very difficult for me. Trying to own each moment and not hide from it, and love each moment and bless each moment and be blessed by each moment, accept the blessing. I and many others, I notice, have a tendency to want to push off feeling good when things are difficult. I think largely because it doesn't feel right to feel good in the grieving process. So I've opened up my doors of Nomad, formerly Urban Primitive, to people wanting their soul prints. I'm only doing them here in the sacred forest that Raven loves so much. This is where her energy will be present and very strong, and her healing will affect you all who come here, whether it's just for a visit or for a soul print. The healing effects of my soul prints is intensifying. And just know that the money that you spend on a piece of furniture, if you're interested, and even your soul print, is going to making Raven's life as light and meaningful as it can be, and comfortable and happy and joyous. She's a very strong woman, although still, even when you're strong, moments of sadness can hit and take over. But she doesn't let it defeat her, and she rejects, looking for the right words here, the idea of being a victim. She refuses, and love from her friends is what's holding her in a wonderful place, and her love, her ability to share her love with others is of primary importance right now. She has this strong need to speak to a lot of the young people, children that she knows, to share her blessings with them. But her body is slowly failing her. We're hoping that the naturopathic college, because Western model has basically thrown her out, except for the palliative care ward up the road, who's going to come and visit. This is our last hope, our last chance. And if they can do anything, if they think that it can help her, I'll do what I can to give her that, make it available. I know when she spoke to them, it really lifted her spirits, and I think that's what gave her the wonderful day yesterday. But then today, I don't know, whatever, she was feeling the cold weather as well. She just felt like she's on limited time. So I just thought I would share that with you, and please pass it on to anyone that you know who knows Raven. And it's going to be a very difficult winter. But I know I will not be alone. Heading out after this video to buy some lumber for our little guest tent. Wonderful friend of mine, of ours, Carmen, gifted us this kind of like a military winter tent that you can put a wood stove in. And we're going to have that put up. It's amazing how important it is to Raven, certain things that she might not even see, and yet they're still so important to her. There's the forest she wants to see become a healing grounds, healing environment for people to come. There's a hemlock grove that she wants to see, and she believes she will see it, but not in the physical. So I'm gonna name that after her. And I know Raven and a good friend and amazing artist, J. Bell Redbird, who passed away 2 years ago in his sleep, whom I love and Raven loves. I know that the idea of meeting Jay makes Raven very happy. And I know that Raven and Jay are going to be with me and others, but especially at this healing location at, call it Nomad Village and Healing Center. Raven will be very present, and I believe Jay will too. They're both very strong healers that go beyond the physical. And for those of you, or for those parts of each of you that cannot accept those ideas of deeper dimensions of healing and reality beyond what's accepted by science and skeptics everywhere. That's a little chipmunk stealing bits of my avocado. Well, I pray that your journey leads you towards a greater awakening to what is above and beyond just what our five senses can take in and what we've been taught by the cult of, I don't know what you'd call it, sort of rational skepticism. Or nothing beyond a really stale shallow interpretation of reality is acceptable. I believe that this narrow view, along with pollution and everything else that we know about, but this narrow view of what we are, our potential, and where we're going or where we can go is what's killing us as human beings on this planet. And it's also what's allowing us to kill the planet, destroy the planet. I don't know if we can kill her, but if we can, I'm sure we'll do a good job of it. So I believe that that narrow view of reality, that reality can't possibly go beyond what we've been taught and what our five senses can see and take in. We know for a fact that different animals and plants register things on much deeper levels than we do in many ways. So obviously just there it shows that there's more to reality than meets the eye. And I have that skeptic within me as well, and I battle it quite often daily, sort of stretching myself above and beyond. And I'm dedicated, as Raven is, and I will continue that dedication and strong determination to develop that awareness within myself and to share my soul prints as I get better and better at it with others. And maybe still my dream of teaching some artists that which I have learned. I'm planning on writing a book over the winter. I think it'll be very good therapy for me, but also because I want to share my life's work with you all. I don't believe I was just here to be wounded, or anyone else. I believe that Raven and I were here for a purpose, and I believe that some level, somehow, somewhere, before we were born, we agreed to do this, and we knew that Raven was going to leave. She chose for whatever it's going to do, for the betterment of the bigger picture, for helping me, maybe jolting me into a new level of my being and past my own fears and insecurities. Who knows? I don't even want to think about what life will be like without Raven, but she assures me she'll be more with me than she has been in the physical, because she won't have the physical human entrapments to hold her back anymore. So I just want to end this video and let you all know that I love you all. And if we had any tensions or short, abrupt conversations during the last year and a half, don't worry. I'm not that shallow. I don't hold on to things like that. We were all working through some very intense times, intense emotions, no matter what we believe and what we still believe. Doesn't matter. I'm not judging anyone as an individual, but I will hold up to my truth. And I know, like I said, I am here for a purpose. And I'm not a quitter. And I'm not afraid, even if I am the only one, I will keep moving forward. And I will keep spreading my love and Raven's love. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your time. I love you all.